Football fans, buckle up, because what's happening right now between Liverpool, Newcastle, and Alexander Isak is nothing short of pure transfer drama at the highest level. This saga has everything. Broken promises, desperation moves, massive price tags, and a player who is refusing to back down until he secures his dream move to Anfield. But here's the real question. Will Newcastle finally cave in and let their star striker leave, or will Liverpool have to break the bank once again? For Arne Slot's #1 target? Stick with me till the very end because, trust me, you'll want to hear how this unfolds. Plus, I'll share my honest verdict on whether this deal is destined to happen or collapse at the last hurdle. So let's set the scene. Alexander Isak. Newcastle's talisman, their superstar, their goal-scoring machine, has taken a bold, almost shocking stance. The Swedish striker has reportedly refused to play for the Magpies, making it crystal clear that he wants out. And not just out anywhere, his eyes are firmly set on one destination, Liverpool Football Club. Isak himself has even gone as far as releasing a statement, claiming that Newcastle broke promises about his future. That's huge. When a player speaks out publicly like this, it's never just noise. It's a deliberate move to crank up the pressure on the club, and on Newcastle's part, it creates a massive problem. Because here's the thing, Newcastle simply cannot afford to lose their star man without a ready-made replacement. And that's exactly where the desperation begins to creep in. We all know Newcastle have slapped an eye-watering $150 million price tag on Isak. That's not just a number. That's a giant hands-off sign to scare away suitors. Liverpool, on their part, tested the waters with a massive $110 million opening bid, which Newcastle immediately rejected. But now the mood is shifting. Behind closed doors, insiders say Newcastle are actually getting desperate to find a striker who could step into Isak's boots. And until they do, they're refusing to even consider green-lighting his move. Here's the kicker. The longer this drags on, the more pressure builds. Not just on Newcastle, but on Liverpool, too. Will Arne Slot wait patiently, or will he demand the club make a decisive second bid? Newcastle's desperate hunt for a replacement. Let's talk replacements, because this is where things get messy. According to Sky Sports journalist Keith Downey, Newcastle have been scrambling to bring in a striker all summer. They've tried and failed multiple times. Benjamin Sesko, their top target, but he chose another opportunity. Joao Pedro, gone elsewhere. Liam Delap, slipped through their fingers. Hugo Ekitike, and here's the painful twist, he didn't just say no, he actually ended up joining Liverpool and scoring against Newcastle at St. James's Park. Imagine the frustration. Eddie Howe and the Newcastle board are throwing everything at the market, but nothing is sticking. That's why insiders are now describing them as desperate, and desperation in football usually leads to one thing, big decisions and fast. So let me ask you, do you think Newcastle will eventually cave in and allow Isak to go once? They land even one half-decent striker? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is the turning point in the saga. Meanwhile, over at Anfield, the situation is crystal clear. Arne Slot only has eyes for Isak. Forget the rumors about other forwards being linked. Slot sees the Swede as the perfect long-term partner for Mo Salah, or even his successor if the Egyptian king eventually moves on. Liverpool haven't yet come back with a second bid, but the fact they tested Newcastle's resolve with $110 million shows they're serious. And history tells us that when Liverpool wants someone badly enough, they usually find a way. Think back. Van Dijk, Alisson, Darwin Núñez, big money signings that transformed the team. Isak could be the next name on that list, but here's the burning question. Will Liverpool break their transfer record and go all the way to $150 million, or will Newcastle's desperation force them into accepting a slightly lower deal? One thing we cannot ignore is the clock. The transfer window doesn't stay open forever, and every passing day ramps up the tension. If Newcastle fail to land a striker before the deadline, they're stuck. That means Isak stays put, whether he likes it or not. But if they pull off even one successful signing, the dominoes could fall rapidly, and Isak could be packing his bags for Liverpool within hours. So the big suspense here is timing. And let me tell you, the last week of the transfer window is always chaos. Deals collapse, others come out of nowhere. This saga could easily go right down to deadline day. Now, my honest take on this saga? I think Newcastle's stance is weakening. Desperation always tells. When you've tried and failed multiple times in the market, you reach a point where keeping an unhappy player, especially one who refuses to play, becomes too toxic. Liverpool are lurking, patient, but ready to strike. If Newcastle managed to land a striker in the next few days, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a second Liverpool bid come in fast. And if that happens, I think the move gets done. Isak in a Liverpool shirt before the window